Somebody stop me from this rant. In today's physical media news topic video, we talk about the pros and cons to the 4K Aero release of The Mask. Is it smoking like everybody's reporting, or is there actually some sinister stuff here that a lot of people are missing? We're going to cover it today. We're going to get into a massive rant on why this release is lacking so much greatness that collectors wanted, and Aero completely slapped us in the face, and they freaking disgust me. I'm going to let you guys know all the dirty secrets today. And of course, we talk about the future of Aero collecting. Are we going to get a better release of the mask in the future? Is there a limited edition steelbook on the way? I may have some insider information on that. So let's get into it. So now dancing into the news here, we got to get over those smoking facts on the pros and cons of the mask on 4K getting released from Aero here. Yes, I know we've been waiting for a nice 4K edition of the mask for a very long time. I understand. Well, that's why people are so excited about this one, because we're finally getting it to Ultra HD. But we also have to be fair in our assessment of this title. And we got to look at the greats. We got to look at the negatives. We got to look at everything in between when it comes to what we're actually getting here. Now, in terms of the cover, I like it. It looks slick. You got the mask on there. What more can you ask for? I think it looks pretty darn clean. So I will say the cover is pretty spot on. Can't really complain too much there. It is simple overall, but it captures the movie perfectly. So I actually really like that style, and I appreciate it over some, Photoshop looking garbage, right? Where it's just so messy, you can't really tell what's going on. And then, of course, we got to talk about, yes, you're getting it to 4K Ultra HD finally. Yes, you're getting, I believe, HDR in there, if I'm not mistaken. And so, yeah, hey, a 4K disc, if they did the transfer correctly, I'm sure it's going to pop. I mean, the colors in there with the green mask and just the colorful suits, like the yellow suit and all the dancing that's going to be happening, right? Cameron Diaz's dress. I mean, these things should pop on screen with a 4K disc. So I'm sure it will look great, because Aero Video is known for creating some really great looking 4K transfers. Now, in terms of the audio, something came up as a red flag here for me. It says that there is like their original like Dolby 5.1 master audio mix. But then it's like with a new Dolby Atmos mix as well. But I don't know if it's a true like Dolby Atmos 7.1 track in there as well. You guys can clarify that in the comments below. But I don't think it's like top notch, like true Dolby Atmos 7.1 across the board. If I'm mistaken on that, please let me know in the comments below. But I think there was something a little bit wonky there where it's not the best of the best, but maybe a step below that. And that's still pretty darn good. But wish, of course, it was the best of the best. I mean, it could be an issue there for some people if you have a true like Dolby Atmos setup. Now, in terms of talking about special features, yes, you got a ton of special features in here. I don't know if there's anything mind-blowing. Yes, there's a lot of commentaries and there's a lot of interviews, but when I was looking at the interviews, I was really hoping for something really darn special, and nothing really stood out to me on the interviews. I thought we were going to have like actor interviews with all the major cast members. Like I thought we were going to have a Jim Carrey interview. Could you imagine Jim Carrey sitting down, having a full-on interview this many years later with all his life experience now? That would have been fantastic. Or Cameron Diaz getting in there, talking about kind of her start in movies with this really major role, and that would have been such an incredible story. Or heck, even get, the main villain in here, that actor. I would love to know more about him, because I don't really know much about him. They really didn't get many actors in any of the interviews here. I think there was one, if it was Amy, I remember correctly in there, but I would have loved more interviews with the actual cast members. It looks like we do have other interviews in there of people that worked on the film, so better than nothing, and I do appreciate new interviews. So thank you, Aero, for doing that. Do I want more? Of course, as a fan, absolutely. I'm always going to want more. So that could be some drawbacks and some red flags there. In terms of anything else here, I believe you do get some kind of like, art card, or, little poster looking card thingies in there. If you do anything with those, I don't know. Do people do things with those? Like, do you trade them or something? You just put them on the wall, maybe? I don't know. Put them on the fridge, I guess, maybe. But yeah, I mean, overall looked okay. But the price off of Arrow Video's website, I will have to say, is another negative here at $45 is pretty shameful. Yeah, you can go to Amazon, I think 33, 35 bucks around there. But you'd want to buy from Arrow Video, right? If they were a fair price, but I guess not. So now you got to go to Amazon. So that does kind of suck. I bet you could probably get it cheaper though. Go through like an Orbit DVD or one of those other sites. Maybe you can get it a little bit cheaper. You bundle it, save on shipping or whatnot. But yeah, so the price is a little off for me. So I don't think it's a day one purchase, especially missing those key interviews and maybe not the top, Dolby Atmos track we deserve. So maybe not a day one purchase yet, but let's rant on it hardcore next on what they're really freaking missing and what they really disgust me about. So now it's time for a massive rant. And like I said, I do love The Mask. I'm a big fan of that movie. Come on, 90s Jim Carrey is like comedy gold right there. And this movie has some heart and emotion to it. So actually, I haven't watched this one in a while, but I remember from my childhood, I would watch this one all the time. So I really do want to get this one into the collection, and finally getting it on 4K would be incredible. But like I said, the big red flags here, the big errors or things that are missing, the issues that I'm seeing right now is you don't have the best audio track possible. Yeah, you may have a really darn good one in there, but you don't have the best audio track there, unfortunately. And then, of course, you're lacking all those interviews with those major acting talents. How do you not have a Jim Carrey interview here? He is the main star of the movie. You're telling me Jim Carrey wouldn't come back to do an interview? He came back for the Sonic movies. He will come back for an interview with The Mask. I bet you he would. Maybe he wouldn't, but come on, you could at least, see if you could get him and maybe do a whole like reunion show with him and Cameron Diaz and all the other major characters. I mean, that would have been so darn cool, right? Like, how do you not have a Cameron Diaz interview on here either? Would she not show up for these interviews? Why not? Why? I think some of these actors would like to talk about themselves and their story and just share some insight into their life experience. I think that's a possibility, or get some of the villain actors in here as well. Like I said, I want more acting interviews, maybe even do a full-on reunion kind of show with these masked characters. Like, could you imagine a whole like just reunion conversation with like 5 or 10 of the acting talents, or even throw the writer directors in there, right? And just get a good mixture of like 5 to 10 people really celebrating The Mask as like kind of a reunion type of special. That would have been so darn cool. Something really unique like that. So even though there's some good special features on here, don't get me wrong, I love how Arrow got some new stuff. I wanted them to go the extra mile, and that seems to be missing here. I just wanted even more as a fan. Now, in terms of how's this 4K disc going to look, I don't know. I haven't seen the 4K disc, right? They don't send me this crap, right? But hopefully Arrow does a good job. Usually Arrow gives you a really good value 4K disc. So yeah, I have nothing to expect but goodness out of the 4K disc. Hopefully the transfer is on par with their other stuff. If it is, I'm sure it's going to look good, and a lot of the colors and details in this movie are going to pop, because there's a lot of stuff in the background too with the production design of this movie, the cinematography, the cameras they use. There's a lot of stuff in the background that I bet you're going to notice now that you never noticed before, now with the 4K detail in hand. So I think there's going to be some good stuff here. Like I said, I just wish there was a little bit more here. Maybe get a little mask collectible in here as well. Oh, you know what they should have done? What if it like came in a case where like it was the mask and like you could take it off or something? That would be really cool too. Or just give you like the mask prop with it as well, like a super collector's edition. I don't think they're doing that, are they? If they are, let me know. But that would have been really cool too. That way you get the mask like prop replica. You can hang that on the wall. That's better than some art cards or poster, I would think. But that would have been really darn cool as well, just to really go all out for people that absolutely love The Mask on Arrow Video. Yeah, come on, do it. Put in the extra work. Go the extra mile, get us some good quality stuff. I think that would have been even better. So yeah, maybe Arrow did a good job here. I wanted a great job from them, but we will have to see when the final product gets reviewed here. But yeah, you guys will have to let me know if you want a full on in-depth analysis of this one. But yeah, definitely going to have to talk about the future. Are we going to get that nice limited edition steelbook that's been rumored? Let's talk about that next. So talking about the rumors of the limited edition steelbook for the mask, oh my gosh, this could be incredible if they did a 4K steelbook. Now I know Arrow Video hasn't done a ton of steelbooks. Now sometimes they do. They did one for RoboCop, True Romance, Wild Things. So they've done 4K steelbooks in the past. Are they going to do it again? I think a lot of the boutique labels are going towards steelbooks because they can sell them for a big price and people will actually pay for them. I think they would do that with the mask, because didn't the mask just come out with like a new Blu-ray steelbook? Why not use that for a 4K steelbook, or do a whole different design all entirely, like have the actual mask on it? Like I said, that like detailed design, that coloring to the mask, that deep dark green, that would look really cool in a steelbook. And then you could open it up and then you got it reveal, Jim Carrey on the inside with the disc and everything like that. I think they could do like that in the future. And I think it would actually sell, because if this title is as popular as I think it's going to be, because everybody's really hyped up about this one, I think they're going to do more with this title. I don't think Arrow's going to let it go. I don't think they want Scream Factory to get it, or Criterion, or another boutique label. So I think they're going to hold on to these licensing rights as long as they can. And I think they're going to milk it for everything they can. So I could see some new collector's editions in the future. Like I said, I would have loved if they did like how they did with that True Romance, like, big thick box packaging, had the steelbook in it as well, and it was like the best of both worlds. Can we get back to doing that from Arrow Video? Where did that go? Did you guys like that out there when they would do those big thick boxes but also include the steelbook in there with the True Romance one? I love that. I thought that was the best release from Arrow Video, because it had everything in there, like freaking little, it had like double posters in there, had art cards, it had like a little stick-on tattoo. I mean, it had freaking everything in that True Romance one. So I would love to see the mask set be at that level, especially because everybody's hyped for this one. Everybody's a big fan of this one, it seems like, for the most part. Like, if they gave us a big thick box and a steelbook on the inside, that would have sold so much, in my opinion. I think that would have been really, really cool for those fans of the mask. I totally would have considered getting that myself at a higher price. Like, that would have been awesome. Oh my gosh. Or at least wait for a sale to pick it up. But yeah, I think a steelbook or some other kind of limited collector's edition could be in the future from Arrow if the mask does sell well, the standard 4K or standard Blu-ray. If it sells well, I think they're going to do more with it, because you can't leave the mask on the table, man. You got to put the mask on, and you got to make some smoking additions for us out there, because you can't stop it. You can't stop it, Arrow, right? You got to have this amazing quality stuff for your movie. You got to have in the shining light. So maybe down the road, we could see something even better. Or maybe they'll even add in new interviews too, and new featurettes, new documentaries, add even more, and get us another new cool edition of The Mask. I think that would be incredible. I think that's something they should consider, but maybe it's just me as a fan, as a collector, that wants even more for this movie. So like I said, I think Arrow overall did a good job on this release from what we've seen so far. I think they could have done even better. I wanted it to be the greatest release from them of all time. I still think True Romance holds that. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you think another Arrow release was even better than that. Let me know in the comments below. But also let me know in the comments below, do you guys pick up this mask 4K? Do you think we're going to get better editions down the road? What do you like about this release? Is it one of your favorite movies of all time? When was the first time you watched this movie? Let's share that in the comments below. If you haven't already, go ahead and mega smash that like and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you're alerted of new physical media entertainment and topic news videos. We love celebrating physical media on this channel, and we want you to be a part of that movement to support these physical media collectors. And then, of course, have a great day watching and talking your movies, my friends. And you love this physical media topic, go ahead and mega smash and watch another video all the way through right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.